Why, hello there. Welcome to today's marketing session. This is going to be, I think, I'm a little biased, but I believe it's going to be a really, really great short session for you if you are super overwhelmed with social media, if you feel like you have no clue what you're doing, which is okay and it's normal, and if you feel like you're wasting a lot of time on it. Okay, so welcome to today's marketing session. If you're brand new to the page and we've never met, my name is Ginna Tassinelli. I am the owner and founder of Stylishly Branding with Ginna, which is one of my more favorite divisions of our social media marketing agency, Hype Media. And here at Stylishly Branding, I empower and support women entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, experts, high achieving, mission based female entrepreneurs in elevating your personal brand, your style, and your visibility so that you can use social media effectively to connect with the right people and do it in a way that's not icky, that's not weird, and it's not wasting your time. Okay, so welcome. And if there's something that you love that I say that's a huge nugget, a great tip, just give me a hashtag wow, because that lets me know that what I'm sharing with you is important to you, and it just really helps me gauge as to the information that I'm putting out there if it's something that's helpful to you. So let's see. If you're new, let me know. Say new down below. Okay, that way I know that you are new and I can give you a special welcome. And so I thought about talking about this today for a few reasons. As you know, we are in a time when people are spending most of their time online right now, right? And that's going to continue. I obviously don't have a crystal ball. I'm not psychic, but I think that you would agree with me that it's going to continue and it's only going to get even stronger from here on out. So it's really important to understand as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as an expert, as the brand of your business, to understand the ins and outs of social media, unless you can budget to have somebody like myself as an agency handle it for you. And I know for many entrepreneurs, including myself, when I started as a solopreneur, I didn't have the capability money wise to hire an agency to handle my social media or even a virtual assistant. Now, you know, I've been doing this for over 13 years. So now I do have a team. It took me a while to get there. It didn't happen overnight, but also I am a marketing expert. This is what I've been doing for my entire career. So I want you to know, I want to start by letting you know that it is okay if you feel like you are behind the eight ball on social media. This is very normal. If this is not your lane, you're not supposed to know everything, right? But what you can do is you can stay educated, you can stay up to date with coming into contact with people like myself. That's why I do these free trainings once a week here on Thursdays at the same time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Um, and it's a place where you can consume all of this information. Now, I will say there's a lot of trial and error that goes into using social media for your business. There is no right and wrong way to do things. There are some do's and don'ts, but if somebody's giving you like you know a guide on how to use social media, yes, you can get the basics, but when it comes to understanding why something works for somebody else and not for you, there's so many factors involved. So a lot of this is trial and error for your own business and your own audience, because every single eyeball that is following you is different than the eyeballs that are following somebody that does the same exact thing that you do. They're taking different steps online. They're clicking on different things. They're going into different locations. All of this data is being accumulated on the back end. And it plays a huge factor in how our pages respond to our posts, how our Instagram feed responds to our posts, also the actions that we take as a user on the platforms. So that's, kind of the baseline just to understand when it comes to social media. So what we're going to talk about today is, number one, you don't need to be a marketing expert to use social media effectively. Okay. So that is not a problem. So I'm going to share with you 10 strategies that you should be using on social media if you are a small business owner or an entrepreneur, or maybe even, in direct sales. So maybe not necessarily that you own your own business, but you represent a product. Or maybe you are an expert where you work for a company, but you do need social media to put yourself out there and make new connections. Okay, so that's what this is going to be about. So here are 10 different strategies. All right, let's start with number one. And if you have any questions, and even if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to drop questions down below. I always come back and I answer everyone's questions. So that's what I'm here for. So feel free to drop any comments, questions, anything like that. Okay, so number one, this is really, really important, is have a social media marketing plan. I can't tell you, and I have been, I will be honest, I didn't for a very long time. The interesting thing is that for 13 years, I've been doing this for other companies, but for my own business, I didn't have a plan in action. And this is very normal. It's very normal that, as a business owner, your things come last and your clients' priorities come first. So if you find yourself in that space, welcome to the club. But that happens even with us that are doing this for a living, that are experts at this. So I no longer do that. I do have a marketing plan because it's really important to have one. It relieves so much stress off of you every month. If you feel like you are sitting down every single day to create the post that you're going to post at that moment, you're actually wasting time. And the effectiveness of that post or that content, whatever it is not going to be as effective because you're kind of rushing through it and you're not putting enough time to really have a thought out process and objective as to what is the intent of this piece of content that I'm going to post right now. If you're rushing through it and doing it on the fly, it's really hard to really put a lot of strategy into what you're doing. So every time that you post something or write an email or have a blog post going up, rather than just taking the action to do those things, you really want to think about what do I want to happen after this? What do I want people to do with this post? Do I want them to click? Do I want them to respond and answer a question? Do I want them to share this? So for every piece of content, no matter what it is, whether it's a social media post, an email campaign, anything that you're putting out, you want to know what your end result is that you expect. Even if it happens or not, there's a reason why you're putting all of this time and energy into content. And so it's really important to have a marketing plan so that you can be more strategic and you don't waste so much time. So that is my number one. It's at the very top of the list. Then if you feel like you need to be on every single platform, and there are people that there's two ways of thinking about this. Some people think that you need to be on 3 or more platforms, or at least 3 platforms, or I am a huge believer if you are just getting started in social media or still trying to understand your way around it and put a plan together, start with one platform. One platform that you are more comfortable with, and then go from there. Okay. And I will tell you, for me, at least personally, Facebook is for me the easiest out of all of them. There are some times that you can also, right off the bat, start with 2 platforms, because a lot of what you do on Facebook, you can mirror on other platforms. So you also don't need to feel like, okay, if I do one piece of content on this platform, it has to be different on that platform or that platform. Not necessarily. I mean, there are ways around this. So, you know, if you're doing a long form piece of content, so like if you're typing out a long caption, it might not work as well on Instagram, for example. It definitely won't work well on Twitter because you're so limited to the characters. So those types of things you do want to think about. The engagement on each platform works a little differently as well. And then you also want to check, what are the peak times that your audience is using the platform, so that you do so by going into your analytics. So back to step number 2. Don't feel like you have to be all over the place. Okay, start with one, get it down, understand it, get really good at it, and then add another one if you feel like you can't handle more than one at one time. Okay. If you want to do more platforms at one time, so more than one, you can use like if you wanted to schedule something on Facebook and Instagram, you can use Creator Studio to do both. I love using Creator Studio because it's owned by Facebook. It's native to the platform. It doesn't hurt my reach as much as if I were to use something like Smarter Queue, which is my second favorite tool. And Smarter Queue, I actually do use, and you can schedule on, depending on the level of membership that you have, but you can schedule on like 10 profiles at one time, 10 different platforms and profiles at one time, that one piece of content. So if that's, something that would seem more beneficial to you, then you could go that route. Okay, number 3 is be authentic and don't try to be someone else because you saw someone else do something and you think it'll work for you. It usually doesn't. It doesn't work that way. When it doesn't seem like you, it just doesn't work out. So, I'm having a really hard time like digging into or putting myself in reels. Well, not so much anymore. In the beginning I did, because I was watching all of these reels and I see people dancing, and I see the effectiveness of those. They're fun, they're entertaining. But although I love dancing, that's actually, I was a dancer growing up and I competed, and that has always been my dream. Um, it's just not something that I would do for my business, right? So that stopped me from doing reels early on, until I figured out it's okay. I can just be me. I can just talk on camera, show my face, or maybe screen share and then have some captions. It doesn't have to be a dance for it to work. So make things work for you so that it aligns with who you are. So be authentic to yourself and then also to your audience. Number 4 is understand that social media marketing is going to be different than any other type of marketing. People forget about this so often. Before social media, we were used to, and we still see them, billboards and television and radio and newspaper. And, I was a media buyer. I still actually do for some clients. I buy radio time for clients as the media buyer and planner. It's a few clients that are local. Okay. So, and that type of advertising is totally different. It is promotional. It is selling. It's very, very like in your face, buy this now, listen to my offer, limited time, come to this event, blah, blah, blah. It's not social. So with social media, you want to change, you want to shift how you market your business, your brand, yourself. You want to be conversational, engaging, entertaining, although you still do want to educate and provide value. But you need to remember that people are not coming on social media to be sold, to be marketed to. They're not opening up Facebook today and saying, oh, let me see what Ginna can sell me today. That's just not happening. So you want to create your marketing in a way that is telling stories, it is sharing information, it's entertaining, it's inspirational, and it's creating conversations. And those conversations can lead to one-on-one conversations, which then can lead you closer to a sale. So that's really the right way to use social media instead of constantly posting promotional, offers, product placement all the time, things like that. Make it just very authentic. Number 5 is you want to get clear on who you are talking to. So make sure you know who your target audience is. Who are those perfect humans that you want to have resonate with your content? This is going to help you focus your time and energy on creating great content that is specifically for them, not for everybody in this world. You can't speak to everybody at once. If you try to speak to everybody at once, you're probably speaking to nobody. Okay, so when you can focus it, and you can have a few different target audiences as well. You don't have to just have one, but just be very clear on who those are. And that's really part of also building your own personal brand, which, by the way, is you. And it's already built, but really making it more defined and more clear as to how you align yourself as a human being with your business. That is your brand. Number 6 is know what kind of content is most interesting to them and relevant to your audience. And that's going to help you create really, really great content. So one way to do this is to go on other people's profiles, other business profiles that do something similar that you do. So it could be competition, which I don't believe in competition, but that's why I'm saying people that align with similar services that you offer, products that you offer. Find their profiles and check out the content that they're putting up and how the engagement is on that content. And that's going to give you a really great gauge as to what kind of content you should be putting out there as well, with your own spin on it, so that it aligns with you. Number 7 is you want to post types of updates that your audience will reshare. So if you can post like inspirational quotes or funny, if your personality is one of, making people laugh and you love to entertain people, then create short, funny videos, 15, 30 seconds. Try not to make it any longer than that. And somehow relate it back to your business. That is really great shareable content. Maybe it's a meme. Memes are super fun. They're still very popular. Or inspirational quotes. So posting types of content that people will actually share is going to go a long way for you. It will expand your reach, and it's going to get seen by new people that don't already follow you, which is pretty awesome. Number 8 is understand that social media is a listening tool and a sharing tool for your business. So what I mean by that is use it to also listen or read or watch or pay attention, because you can listen if you're watching videos, but pay attention to conversations that are happening. Pay attention to questions that people are asking inside of groups, especially. So if you're a part of groups for your business, networking groups, masterminds, things like that, free groups where there are other business owners, entrepreneurs that could be your ideal client, you want to go into the search bar of that group and type in keywords that relate to your business, and then select most recent posts. And that's going to give you the most recent conversations that have to do with conversations surrounding keywords around your business. And that'll give you a really great idea of what are people talking about? What are their questions about things that relate to your business? And it also gives you a really great opportunity to chime in and give some advice and suggestions, some tips. It lets people know that you are an expert. You start to get seen more in those groups. So that's, that does a whole other, that has a whole other effect on your business, which is awesome. But poke around in other groups, on other people's pages, check out what those conversations are. Go to pages, business pages that are maybe like tools that people use in your business, and see what kinds of questions they're asking. And that's going to give you a really great gauge too on what kind of content you should be creating, because content is really about answering questions. It's responding to questions that people ask most often. And that's how people are going to consume more of your content. Number 9 is you want to decide on a frequency for the platforms that are going to work best for your business goals and your content strategy and your target audience. So, yes, you can post as much as you want, but I'm going to tell you, you don't need to do that. So if you are putting content out there that is truly valuable, that people are engaging with, they are reacting to, they're taking some sort of action on, you're just, that post, the content in that, or the post itself is going to keep getting distributed more and more and more. And the more that that happens, the more people are going to see you. So you don't have to post, honestly, more than once a day if you can't, if you don't have time to. I at the most will post twice a day. For our clients, at the most twice a day as well. And we use a variety of different types of posts. Sometimes it's just a caption and no image or anything. Other times it's a video, short video, long video, a reel, a story video. Other times it's an image. So have a lot of different types of content to put out there as well, because some people like to listen and watch. Some people like to read. So that way you can kind of grab every type of consumer or the way that they consume content. You can capture everybody's attention and not just readers or not just people that like to watch videos. And then number 10 is you want to welcome your audience to your platforms, to your profiles. This is one of the strongest ways that I and also my clients and members inside of my Splash Marketing Collective. It seems so basic, but it's one of the strongest ways to really build strong relationships that can convert into paying clients. And there's a couple things to this. So, number 1, you can send a message to people that start to like your page. And the way that you do that is you go to your business page, then you go to settings, then you go to people and pages, and then you can see the people that have just recently liked your page. You can see everybody that's liked your page, like their profile, their name, their profile image, all of it. And you can also organize it so that it's by most recent. And so what I typically do, or if you have an assistant can do this for you, is you want to click on their profile and then send them a welcome message. Just say, hey, this is Ginna, owner and founder of Stylishly Branding. Thank you so much for following along on my page. Is there anything in particular that you are struggling with when it comes to social media? I'd love to share a tip with you. That's it. I'm not selling you anything. I'm not trying to get you to sign up for anything. I am really just trying to genuinely connect with you. So that is one way. Now, when you send a message that way, it's going to send as your personal profile. So if you don't want, people that you don't know to connect with you personally on Messenger, then you don't want to do that. It also does go into their others folder, so they may not see it right away. Actually, no. No, it does. It goes into their others folder, so they may not see it right away. But it's still a great opportunity. And for those that do check that others folder, it works. The other thing is if you have a group and you have new people coming into the group, friend them if you feel comfortable to do so, and then send them a personal welcome message via Messenger. In addition to the regular welcome post that you can do inside of the group, you want to also send them a personal message through Messenger. The more that they can see your name and your profile pic and start to recognize you, the more they are going to want to engage with you and your content. And not to mention, the more the algorithm is going to work in your favor too, because it's getting the signal, in a sense. It's signaling to the algorithm that you are connecting with this person. And when they respond to your message, they're connecting back. And so now you guys have created a connection So they're more likely to see more of your content when you put that out there. All right, so I hope that this was helpful. I'd love to know which one of these tips was the most helpful for you. I will see you next week, same time, same day, Thursday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a fabulous rest of the day and week, and I'll see you soon.